All right, if you were absent, then you probably missed us doing bronze as a whole class. So I'm going to go over what we went over as a whole class so that you can watch this video. So there, for writing chemical equations, and you'll write your name, so Miss Matt, and then you'll turn this into me so that I can score it for you. So there are 2 steps for writing these into actual chemical equations. We're not balancing them on this bronze. We learned how to balance in silver. So all you have to do is find your charges, which we do from the valence electrons. So K is in group 1, so it is a charge of +1. Okay, chlorine is in group 7, which means it has 7 valence electrons. So to gain to 8, it only needs to gain 1 more. So chlorine is going to have a charge of -1. Okay, so if I do my crisscross, those are both the same, so I don't need to write them. KCl plus is still a plus sign. Now we're going to do silver nitrate. So silver is one of the ones that you have to have memorized. So silver is Ag, which we should know from all of our documents, and silver has a charge of +1. So I'm going to write Ag +1. Now nitrate is one of our polyatomic ions. So that's NO3 with a charge of -1. 1 and 1 are both the same, so they cancel out. So silver is just Ag and O3. Yields is going to be something with an arrow. Okay, now potassium I know has a +1 charge. Nitrate has a 1- charge. Same thing. Potassium nitrate will be KNO3. And here, +1, -1. Do you see how I didn't have to rethink these? I just looked back on my reactant side because they'll be the same. Those charges won't ever change. So you really only have to figure this out for the first half of the problem, and then you can just do your crisscrosses. So the first one is pretty simple because all of these have a 1 plus or 1- charge, which is great, but that's also not realistic. So it is going to pick up. So let's try it here. Aluminum, again, is one of the ones we have to memorize. Al +3. Now, hydroxide is another polyatomic ion. So that's OH1-. So when I do my crisscrosses here, I'm going to put a 1 to the Al, and we don't write our 1s. Okay, and then my OH needs a 3. Now, do you see how this one is 2 capital letters next to each other? It's a polyatomic ion. So our polyatomic ions, we need to keep them together. So I have to put that in parentheses, OH3. If this were a 1, I wouldn't need the parentheses, which we'll see on the other side. But because it's bigger than 1, I have to keep my ion together. All right, sodium has a +1 charge because it's in group 1. Nitrate, again, we know is NO3 with 1-. Those are the same, so what do? Cancel them out, mush them together. NaNO3. We don't need to crisscross if the charges are equal. Yields is our arrow. All right, another one here, Al +3, which I got from right here. NO3 -1, which I got from right here, actually, but also here. All right, now we crisscross. Al gets my 1, which we don't write. And then NO3 is going to get my 3. These are 2 capital letters next to each other, and this is bigger than 1, so that means I need to keep it safe. NO3, 3. Keep it inside the house. Now, last one, sodium +1, which I got from right here. And hydroxide is OH1-. Again, now, both of these are 1, so when we crisscross, they're going to be the same. So here, we don't need to keep our polyatomic ions safe in the house. We don't need parentheses. I'm going to do one more example with you, and then you guys will be responsible with 4 through 10. Okay, you turn that in, instant 20 points. All right, iron metal. So metal is just the type of element that it is. So you don't actually need to write that down. That's just Fe. So we don't have to find the crisscross for this one. All right, copper 2. That 2 should tell us it's Cu2+. Sulfate is a polyatomic ion, 2-. So that's Cu gets the 2, SO4 gets the 2, but 2 and 2 are the same, so we don't write the charges, we just smush them. Yields. All right, now we have iron 2. Fe, 2+, SO4, 2-, which I got from right here. 2 and 2 are the same, so you don't write them, they cancel each other out. And plus copper metal, that's just going to be Cu. All right, that's all we went over as a whole class. If you have any questions, obviously ask me in person. These are the things that you're allowed to have open while you do this assignment. A list of polyatomic ions, a periodic table, and the last one is a list of diatomic elements. So remember, there are 7 elements I told you that need that are diatomic. So that's I bring cookies for our new home. Iodine, bromine, chlorine, fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. And what that means, I'll show you an example. Zinc metal is not on this list. So zinc would just be Zn, right? And this says oxygen gas, okay? Yields zinc oxide, which I'm going to leave for you to do with your crisscross. So make sure you're doing your crisscross. Now, O is on my list here, and it's a diatomic element. So what does that mean? Diatomic. So di, the prefix is what number? If you said 2, you are correct. So that means that whenever it's by itself, so if it's not bonded to anything, you're just going to do O2. That's all. All right. Good luck.